episode 5.
Little late.
Little late, but
late.
you know, well, there was the holidays and other things, but I think we should let them know who we are because we're kind of important.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi there.
Welcome to Boozie Bear's Knitting Podcast, episode 5.
Notice. Ooh. An official sign. Aren't we fancy? I'm Vince.
And I'm Justin.
And we are not boyfriends, husbands, or any of those kind of things.
None of that.
We hate each other less than we hate everyone else, you know. So
basically,
that's that. And we are Boozie Bear's Knitting Podcast. This is our 5th podcast. We've become recognized.
A whole hand.
Yes. People know who we are. We got a big shout out from the Grocery Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, our subscribers went up a lot.
Oh yeah, we've more than doubled at this point. Like we're
last time I checked today, it was 410.
Yeah.
We were excited when we hit over 200.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, we kept messaging each other. Have you seen what our numbers are?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you to Jody and Tracy for calling us out.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that, all the new subscribers, all the, 300 new subscribers that we have out there. We hope you enjoy everything that we're doing. And to those of you that were subscribers and then decided to unsubscribe.
There was that one.
There was a few.
I noticed we went down one at one point.
There was a few times that I saw it. So that was to you, if you're watching, which you're probably not because you unsubscribed.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have liked us any further. I'm sure they were one of the ones who watched episode 1 and went, "Yeah, I'm not gonna watch any more of this." But, you know, the rest of you like us, and that's what is important. Because we think we're funnier than hell. Anyways, and we are coming to you from Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, the Queen City, there's some other...
An all-America city.
An all-America city.
As the sign says.
Yes. We were a city that was talking proud at one time. That was long before your time, though. I won't go into that song.
Picture it,
Sicily. So here we are, ready for our next episode.
Yes.
Just thank you everyone for the new subscribers, and you know, if you've watched us and haven't subscribed, do all those YouTube things, you know, like, subscribe, thumbs up, leave comments. We love hearing what you think of our foolishness and jackassery, and so many of you have said you enjoy our brand of jackassery and snark.
And the more comments and likes that you give us, the more people will see us, and the sooner we'll be able to do, you know, all the fun stuff, like all the giveaways and you know, and knit-alongs and so on and so forth.
Be sure to join us on Ravelry. We have a Ravelry group that's going to be the home base where we do these sort of things. It's just kind of easier that way. I know some people are having issues with the usability of Ravelry. Hopefully they'll work that out. I've been fortunate. It hasn't really bothered me. It's like, you know, it's like I accept change. Change is inevitable. Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm. That's the word I was looking for.
He's only taken 2 sips of his drink.
Yeah.
I only put a little bit of turpentine in it.
Yes. Ginger ale and orange turpentine.
Orange flavored turpentine.
It's so tasty too.
Vitamina regimen.
It's that aftertaste, that kick. Anyways, so you know, do the follow, we're on Instagram as well. All of our information on the video, our show notes, there's a link to there'll be a link to the show notes and how you can contact us on our Instagram and our Facebook.
We are both very active on the Instagram, so I mean, if you're if you're on there, you have any questions for us or whatever, just feel free to private message us. And
you never know which one of us you'll get, but it's one of us, if sometimes both.
Right.
Because if I see he's responded, I'll usually put my name in my response. So you're wondering, is this a multi-personality or are they just being
Well,
weird?
I mean,
Well,
both of those are viable
yeah,
viable choices.
anything could happen. So that's that. And here we have our lovely cocktail of the episode.
Well, this cocktail started its life as an orange lemon drop martini. And then once I made it, I realized it was really strong and it only filled our glasses up about this much. yeah, it was about there. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let's turn this into a cocktail. So I went out to the fridge and I'm like, oh, we'll get out the ginger ale, So I poured some of that over there and didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to. But I think it's the orange vodka is just a little too artificial.
It's a very artificial orange.
Yeah.
That orange disinfectant spray, that's what I'm getting. If it were lemon, it would be lemon pledge.
Don't say that too loud. He lives right upstairs. Inside joke, sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not the greatest cocktail I've ever made either.
I took a sip and I'm like, what is this we're drinking?
But as we've said before, properly chilled, we'll drink turpentine. So
I think this is enough brand of paint thinner. But enough of that foolishness. We're here because we're a knitting
podcast.
So let's get on with the knitting.
To the nitty gritty, if you will.
The nitty gritty, the nitty and the gritty humor. Yeah. We have works in progress. Our whips. Do you have a lot?
I have 2.
I have 3, so I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, I talked about this on the previous episode. We have tanglage. I am making a clockwork scarf. This is going to be Mom's Christmas present.
Look.
Careful I don't stab you in the eye with my needles. So it's coming along nicely. I'm in the second section, and I did 8 of the gray stripes. So I have about 7 of them, 6 or 7 in the second section. So I'm very close to being finished with this. One of the very early patterns by the Stephen West. One episode we will tell the story behind that.
It's funny because I was on the live stream that.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah.
Needles, when you were watching Needles at the Ready. And they did a little call out to us, and we're gonna have to tell them the whole story behind the Stephen West.
I don't think they got it at all there.
No.
Like,
It's
what are these crazy people talking about?
It's kind of a inside joke with the guys from the Great Lakes Knitting Retreat. Ding. But maybe next episode I'll tell that whole story.
There you go.
Get them coming back for more.
always give them something to come back for.
So that's my first work in progress.
Alrighty then. Apparently I've transitioned into Jim Carrey.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then.
Speaking of the Great Lakes Men's Knitting Retreat.
Ding.
So last year, quite literally last November, I started a project. So this yarn here was 2 years ago, dyed for us by Leading Men Fiber Arts for the 10th anniversary of the Great Lakes Men's Knitting Retreat.
Ding.
Ding. And so this colorway was actually, they did the 5 colorways that one for each of the Great Lakes, and then they did this one, which is a mix of all of them together. And because it was my first time at the retreat, the man that owns it, the man that runs the retreat, he doesn't own the retreat, he got me and the other person that were there, we were there on a scholarship, which is a thing that's supported by other men that go to the retreats, to get people that are new to knitting or have never been to the retreats before, to give them a chance to, try it out without having to, shell out all the money for it. And so there were 2 of us there that year, and each of us got the 1 skein of this. It is a fingering weight. I can't remember. I want to say, for some reason, I want to say it's Showstopper, which is one of their sock bases.
I think that, yeah, it's their sock weight base.
Is they have a few of them, but it's one of them. It's just the merino and nylon, their basic sock. But I started a hitchhiker. It's a very popular pattern. I know lots of people have made them, and we always say, when you have a beautiful skein of sock yarn and you just don't know what to do with it,
make a hitchhiker.
Because when you make a hitchhiker, it turns into something like this. I can't imagine having done anything else with this at this point, because it's just that is gorgeous. And as you can see, it's all garter stitch. It is
Showstopper.
It is Showstopper?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That is their fingering weight sock yarn.
All right. Look at me remembering stuff from 2 years ago. But you'll see it has the teeth all the way down. I think right now I am on 38 of 42 teeth. Basically, after you do the 40-second repeat, you just bind off on the last row, and that's it. So,
or you could keep going until you run out of yarn.
Exactly, or you could keep going until you run out of yarn. But
you got a good amount.
I do, but I feel, I don't know, I just have a feeling that once I get to the end, it's gonna be like,
I'm just gonna bind off.
Yeah, like can I go any further? If it looks like I have a lot of yarn left, I probably will. I'll probably keep going, because it's such a fun, mindless, easy knit. It's literally garter stitch, and then no, it's a paid for pattern. So if you want to know exactly what it is, you can buy it from her, because she makes beautiful patterns.
She is one of my favorite designers.
It is Martina Behm, Behm. Obviously, I'll put it down here, and it'll be in our show notes.
Yes.
But there's tons of projects for this. Like any question you could possibly have, I'm sure is answered somewhere on Ravelry. Or honestly, if you have a question, I've been knitting this one for a year, so I'm sure I could answer it. And Vince, I know, has made a few of them.
I've made several.
And just reach out to us. We'll definitely help you. But I mean, this.
And it's a great pattern. It looks really good with hand-dyed yarns,
and it's very, very squishy and warm.
And it's an easy travel project.
Exactly.
That's something that you can bring with you.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can just you just bunch that right up into a bag, and it's fine.
And finished, it looks really nice when it's worn. So
I can't wait to block it, because I've never actually blocked anything with like the intricate, like the points. So that'll be fun. All right. On to you.
On to me. So next up on my works in progress is the Coffee Talk Toque by Tracy Miller. I saw this on their last episode and I'm like, ooh, I like that hat.
Everybody has started knitting that.
Yeah. Well, there's actually only like 27 projects on Ravelry. I was like expecting more, but I'm sure that'll change. This was a second try. My first attempt, the yarn just wasn't loving this hat.
Yeah,
and I said, okay, I know I have something else I can use. So I frogged that and had this yarn. Of course, I closed my notes out.
Amateurs, I
You know, Celipod Yarns. It's Traveler, and the color is Grafting. So there you go.
Oh my.
Yeah. This might have been some like swag that we got at one of the retreats. It was in my collection of fingerings.
It's very pretty.
Yes, and it's because it's one of those. I'm like, oh, this is DK. I have so little, but I'm really liking it. We did have a bit of an oopsie on Sunday. I'm looking at it and said, why does this section look so much taller than the ones before? And I realized I repeated row 3 and 4. So I did a little rip back and fixed it, and all was well with the world. I'm really, really liking how this is coming out. This hat will probably be made numerous times. It's one of those, I get a hat pattern and I like it, and I make a bunch of them.
Yeah, especially because I've seen so many people do the Coffee Talk socks because obviously this just came out.
Yeah.
But they talk about the pattern. It's so beautiful, but it's just so simple and easy.
Mm-hmm. Once you pay attention to
when you pay attention. Sometimes when you're elderly,
I was new in the pattern and wasn't quite there yet, but now I got it.
Okay, Tom. I realize no, they won't get that one either. But.
No, they won't. But I found it humorous. That's all that matters. And the person you're referencing probably won't be watching this.
No, he probably won't. So, that's back to me then.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then, I have something that I just picked up again because I was busy doing other things, working on other things. Make sure I don't pull it off the needles
because that would be sad.
That would be very upsetting.
That would make all of us sad.
So, I got back to work. There we go. On my flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. I think I have 4 more rows left before I separate for sleeves. And then, after that, it should pretty much just fly down through the body because, even these rows have been going pretty quickly for me. But this pattern is so simple, and I'm already thinking about the next time I knit this sweater, I think I'm gonna do this. Oh, and the next time, because I was looking at it and I'm like, what would be really pretty is if the next time I did it, because this one I just want to knit it true to the pattern, but the next time I'm like, what if I only did the garter panel on the shoulder, so it was almost like an epaulette, because I've seen that on a few sweaters. I'm like, that would look really pretty. It's just the shoulder detail and then a regular sleeve. So, the crazy sock lady, Kay, is actually knitting one of these sweaters right now. Except hers is a gorgeous, beautiful red yarn with these, pearl beads that she's knitting onto it. When I tell you, it is gorgeous. And she's even like doing the beading down the sleeves and everything, and it's just like, I don't think I would ever have the patience for that. Not to mention, I probably would get some interesting looks if I was wearing a completely beaded sweater around.
Sweater. Big fat fumbly fingers don't mix well with beads for knitting. The Knitting Guild did a knitting with beads mini class, and I had beads flying all over the place, and was very, very challenged to not let my vocabulary get the better of me. So let's just say I have no love of beads and knitting.
Yeah. I think one of the other things that I was thinking about.
Plus,
I just realized you can actually see my mistake there.
I'm far too manly to wear anything beaded.
Oh yeah. So butch.
That's it. What are you picking at?
No, I was just noticing that's one of my mistakes and my increases.
Blind man on the passing pony?
No.
Are you gonna see it?
And honestly, once I block it, you won't see it. But that was one of the other things I was thinking last night, was if you did like maybe even like a 1x1 cable down the side of each garter panel. Like if I did the epaulette and then somehow carry that across at the end of...
I don't know about how you would do it going across. I'm sure there's a way to do it.
I'm sure. And I might find it by the next time I knit the sweater. Because I did buy more of this wool of the Andes in a different color and a sweater's quantity on Black Friday, so...
I think my shop face is in my bag. I'll have to check.
I know.
But it's coming along very nicely.
And it's in a brand new bag that you'll see in acquisitions. I'm not going to show it to you right now. But...
Ooh. How exciting. All right. And the last of my works in progress, I started a while back. There was a pattern on Knitty called the Clapetty. It's French for scarf or something, and it's a drop stitch bias knit scarf. It was like in the early 200s. It was very popular, and as a program project for the Guild.
The early 200s,
The early 200s, the early 2000s.
I mean, I realize you've been alive since the early 200s, but...
Especially when I'm making something out of Cascade 2020. It's because I haven't worked in so long. I don't know what day of the week it is. I'm all of these confused things. Time is just, there. Anyways... Around 2006.
There you go.
There. How's that?
That's when I graduated high school.
Yeah. This was very popular, and for the Knitting Guild, we did a mini version, a scarf version. So I'm making this as a Christmas present for my older brother's girlfriend. I'm just
fancy.
Just getting to it. I did the very first drop. So every 6 stitches, there'll be dropped stitches, and it'll ladder out, and I've made it a couple times. It's a fun little pattern. It looks nice. And
do you have a heart attack every time you drop one of the stitches?
No, because you do it purposely.
I know.
And you get to ladder the stitches down. It's all sorts of fun because you're doing it on purpose. This is made of Noro Retro yarn. It is a wool, silk, and Angora blend.
Oh my.
So it was in my stash. I got it in a clearance, and I said, this will look nice in this. So that's what we're working on. As it goes along and we do more of the drops, you'll see, and it'll look more like, ooh, because the drops kind of make it curl around.
Okay.
So that is it for my works in progress.
Okay. I ain't got any more of those either.
Yay, so we're done with that.
We're done with works in progress.
Okay, so we can move on to the finished objects.
The finished objects.
Finished objects.
Okay, I think I have some of those.
I know I do.
We'll start with this one because it's little. All right. So, I had a skein of red yarn, red acrylic yarn. I'm not sure what I did with the ball band. I still had it. It might be in the bottom of my work bag. But it was from Ames department store.
Ooh.
And apparently when it was sold, it was 59 cents.
Oh my.
And I was,
Oh my.
I was like looking at it, and like it's a really pretty red, like very Christmassy. I'm like, I should make a Christmas stocking. I'm like, I've never done a Christmas stocking before, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I felt it. I'm like, it's not too bad. I'm like, but there's no way I'm knitting with this. Like, it's just no. I'm like, so I grabbed the crochet hooks, looked up a pattern. This is it's a red heart pattern. I don't remember what it was because I never made a project page for this because I made it so quickly. I made it for the most part in one shift at work. So it was a red heart pattern. I did have to change it a little bit. This is actually, the white is actually supposed to start a little bit further down here into the toe, but I ran out of the red yarn, and
That's when you improvise.
Didn't have another skein of red yarn from Ames anywhere.
59-cent red yarn from Ames.
I don't know. The white is, I'm staring at it. I want to say red heart. But like, this is a free pattern, free crochet pattern. It's mostly double crochets and some single. And I mean, it's like making a giant sock. It's like making a giant crocheted sock. So many of the same techniques that you would use, even in knitting for this, like the heel turn and everything. It was very similar techniques.
That's what you're doing. You're making a big oversized sock.
Yeah. And I actually improvised a little bit on the cuff. The cuff in the pattern actually had like a scalloped edge on the top and bottom of the cuff. And I was like, it was a little too frou-frou for me. I was like, I kind of like just that
clean edge.
Exactly, the clean edge of the white cuff. And don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I think I've finally decided I'm just going to keep it for myself, unless I find somebody that desperately needs it. But yeah, came out pretty well. And for being old yarn from Ames, it's really not that bad. Like,
oh, I've felt old yarn that was much worse than this.
Oh yeah. Well, this is new red heart. So like,
yeah. No, this isn't bad.
It's not like Orlan.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have some Orlan that like it feels plasticky.
Oh yeah.
Very cute. Very nice.
So yeah. There's my Christmas.
When I do show notes, I'll do a little searching and see if I can find it.
I'll somewhere in my, like, I'll look in my search history because I'll find it somewhere. Or I know I have the pattern somewhere, so
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Fabulous. So, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, the hats that I made for Matthew's mom and dad.
That was a couple episodes ago, yeah.
I made Dad a Ross hat out of, what's this yarn? I don't know. Mountain Meadow Wool Laramie in Buckaroo Birthday. And I was like, I really like how this looks. And I had more of it. So I made another one, and I made it for myself. And I'm just liking how it looks. I think I talked about it last time, but I didn't bring it with me.
Yes.
So I figured I'll just, put it in for this time. So the Ross hat is a fun hat. I like how it looks. It's very simple. It knits up easily and it looks good.
And
so
it's a free pattern.
And it's a free pattern. He also released a new one.
Oh, no, not the shawl.
No, it's a hat.
Another hat.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I missed that one.
I think he just released it yesterday.
Okay. So I know he just put out like a little shawlette or something too.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I will have to go look at this new hat because I have a couple of hats to make for Christmas presents. So.
So, back to you.
Anyways, so I know you've all been waiting for this one. It's bated breath, I'm sure. So I've showed you before, as a work in progress, the sweater that I was making for my mother for Christmas. It's called the Two Rectangles Cardigan. It is a red heart design. And she's done. So like I said, it is a... Back up a little bit. It's a sleeveless cardigan. And honestly, like... It's like wearing a blanket. Like, it's very cozy. I put it over my shoulders at one point, and I was very warm, like in just a t-shirt with it on. Like,
only thing that's concerning me are the armholes. How big are Mom's arms?
not terribly.
I mean,
my arms fit through them.
Okay, because it would be easy to open that up if you.
Oh yeah, one of them, probably that one. Let me see. Yeah, that one. I actually did, I think, one or two too many here, because that armhole is smaller than this armhole.
Okay, that's the only thing I was like, this armhole looks a little small.
But I mean, my arms fit through both of them. This one was tight around my arm, so I do have to fix that. But
okay.
Other than that, I'm not sure if it was when I was closing it up or if it was when I did the edging around the outside. But either way, it's an easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
But she's done.
Very festive.
And this is all.
Mom will be all sorts of Twitter-pated.
You know what? And I already told her when I finished it. I was like, and you better wear it this time, bitch.
Said that with so much love.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways,
Ooh.
this yarn that I had some more.
Did you buy all of it?
I bought it when I went to the Rocky Mountain retreat a few years ago because I really liked it.
Can tell.
I tried making something with it and I did not love how it looked, so it got ripped out. But with this, I was like really liking it, and I decided I needed a pair of mittens.
Ooh, how
Now,
fancy.
I was running low on the bonsai birthday or buckaroo bonsai, whatever it was. So I had the teal color of the same yarn. So in the hand, I was alternating rows. So you really can't tell. The cuff and the thumb is just with the, what is it? Buckaroo Birthday. And the hand portion is Buckaroo Birthday in teal. And this is from Ann Budd's book, the Knitter's Handy Book of Patterns. I like this because it's just a basic pattern in numerous sizes for different things. Gloves, hats, mittens, socks, sweaters, vests, and just figure your gauge, especially since when I started knitting, patterns for robustly built gentlemen weren't readily available. So, we're falling. Our fancy sign.
Oh no.
So there would be sweaters I liked, but the largest size won't fit me. So it was just basically do a gauge swatch of the pattern that it was, what it's knit in, and then just figure it out on the numbers, and you could do your own upsizing. So I like it. And I took a class from her, and she autographed it.
Ooh.
The Knitting Guild brought her in a couple years ago, and she taught a great class. And I made her laugh in class. I have that skill,
You might want to fix your bouffant there.
My boof. I have hat hair. But she is a great instructor, and it's one of the things I will say about the seminars that the Guild brings in. After that weekend, your head is just filled with knitterly knowledge. So it's always well worth the time and expense, and hopefully we'll get to do it again. The instructor we were supposed to have this year is in Canada, so she couldn't get across the border, and we can't meet more than 10 people. So eventually, one day,
Right. One day our prince will come.
Yeah, him too. Yeah, we've talked about that, and once things get to be a degree of normalcy and the borders open and stores are open, we're going to start paying visits to some of our local yarn stores, terrify them. We have some friends up in Ontario. We're going to go visit them as well. So that's it for my finished objects.
That's all I got to do.
Okay. Well, next up, vintage knitting.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here we go. I dug through the sweater archives. This one is actually not quite as horrific as some others. Lopi Icelandic sweaters. They were a big thing in the 80s when I was doing my sweater weather knitting. And I had probably finished 2 sweaters, and I was ready for a third, and I was like, I want to do an Icelandic sweater. And Liz was like, okay, let's pick out one. So a lot of these sweaters, these Icelandic ones, they have these chevron like designs, and I wasn't too crazy about that. I liked the look, but I'm like, well, there was one that just wasn't that design, and I decided, okay, I like that one. Yeah, the model's really, really cute. That had something to do with it, but even with my fail-safe test, cover his face, I still like the design.
Among other things.
Yeah, well, that too. So, here we have my Icelandic sweater. It is very thick and very warm. It's a little on the snug side these days, but when I made it and when I wore it, I mean, there were times where if it wasn't a freezing cold day, and we will have a picture here, when it was not a freezing cold day, you could wear this, rather than a jacket. So it was toasty and it was cozy, and not that I would be like, at a ski resort sipping cocoa or anything by the fireplace, but it was fun. I did enjoy working with Lopi yarn. It's a single ply, it's thick, and it's just fun to work with, and the items you make are very warm. A few years back, at the spring retreat, we did a hat using Lopi yarn. And we just were like trading and swapping balls of Lopi yarn. And I'm like, now I remember why I like working with this stuff. So it's quite fun. And this is actually something, if it weren't so snug on me, I'd probably wear it. But it's I might have been a little more slender in those days. I was hitting the gym and the aerobics class on a regular basis.
Just picturing Vince in his jazzercise.
Robbie Raw's peak performance at Bailey Matrix out on East Robinson Road.
Oh boy.
This was around the time Heather Locklear and Cher were the spokesperson for Bailey's. Wow. It was the 80s. So that is vintage knitting.
Vintage knitting.
Yes. And there's still more to come. My mother reminded me there was a vest that I made for my aunt that she still has. And it's quite festive. It's pink and it's fluffy.
Oh no. Oh no.
That'll be all sorts of fun.
Well.
So, moving on to acquisitions.
Well, I guess I'll start.
Yes, because you've been quite acquiristically acquisition.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, not, well, yes, that. Well, we have a friend that we've talked about on here before. She has a knitting podcast as well, the Knit Up and Dye podcast. And so that's Jessie from Dye Monkey Yarns. She has become a bit of a monkey on my back lately. A dye monkey on my back, if you will.
She got your number.
Yeah.
She got your number.
So, I ordered the last episode, so we're talking just over 2 weeks ago.
It'll be 3 weeks on Wednesday that we recorded.
Well, so I'm just over 2 weeks ago. I was talking about how I had ordered some yarn, and it hadn't arrived yet. I've ordered 2 more times.
Not once, twice, for a total of 3.
So we'll go in chronological order.
One order for each week.
Yeah. Okay. This one. These little guys. Goodness. I think. Whoop.
Whoop.
I think that's it. Okay. So, the first week was when I went mini skein crazy. And
just teeny tiny skeins of
right?
yarn.
They're just itty bitty little things. There's one more of these.
They're tangled somewhere.
I'm over here.
Miss it.
Ah, there it is. So, there were 3 colors that I bought 3 mini skeins of. This one right here is pewter. It's beautiful, like black to gray, almost white. I think it actually is white in some spots. This is already wound up because I have a project that I am not allowing myself to start until I have Christmas knitting done, but that's it, all wound up. So you can see the colors even better there. So that is pewter. This is in her DK base, which is Cha Cha Monkey. It's 100% superwash merino. So that was pewter. Then that first week. Oh no. That first week.
Just matching up.
I know. That first week I bought 3 of these. This is called Rush. It is a beautiful, beautiful orange. It's actually showing up really well on the camera right now, surprisingly. But it's like a very tonal orange. And I love it. It's all just so... It's very soft and squishy. Yeah. So that was Rush. And then... this one is Moody, which is gorgeous. It's probably throwing off the color just a little bit on the camera. It's making it a little bit brighter than it really is.
Yeah.
But again, it's just another tonal, say what, that's like a bluish.
It's a dusty blue.
Yeah. Like a denim-y blue.
Yeah.
Like a dark denim.
Yeah, the camera's making it look
Like
a
my
brighter
jeans.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that one is Moody. That's also on the Cha Cha Monkey base. And then that week, I also bought, you might have to help me with this. It's a Harry Potter quote. Is it a powerful wizard by definition? I know it's a powerful wizard. I don't know. It's a quote by Dumbledore from Harry Potter. I would go back and look at it on their website, but I bought the last one that week. Because, you know, I wanted to even out the number and get 10, but it's like a beautiful purpley blue. Again, the color's blowing out a little bit on the camera. It's definitely a little bit darker than it's showing up. That's the colorway name, APWBD. I believe it's a powerful wizard by definition. It's from a quote that he says. I don't know. And so, with that order, that was my first time I had ever ordered yarn from her, and I've known her for quite a while. And she sent a little gift with that. I mean, we all love, you know, gift with purchase. And on this is her Roomba Monkey DK base, which is also, it's also Super Mosh Merino. I won't show what the difference is, but it's a different base. I don't know. But this colorway is called Does He Have a Brother? And it is a beautiful, like, grays to almost a black and like browns. Like, it is just it's not my normal, like, I typically wouldn't go out and buy a skein of yarn this color, like, for myself to go into my stash. But, like, look at that. It's gorgeous the way those colors are. So she sent this basically with a note that said, you know, do with it what you want. You know, you could keep it, which, I mean, or you could use it as a giveaway once we start doing giveaways. So we'll figure that out eventually. That wasn't tight enough. That was not tight enough. Yeah, I'll figure out what we're gonna do with that. So that might end up being a giveaway. So, you know, spread the word to your friends. Have them follow us, and maybe once we get to 500, we'll do a little giveaway of some sort to celebrate. So that was week 1. So the next week, so what happened with the next week was her website sent me basically an automated thing that said, hey, you bought this yarn, review it for us and we'll give you 20% off, or 20% off. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Twist my arm.
So, of course, I went back on her website again, and I had seen her knitting a sock with this colorway, and I was like, oh, I think I need that. So this is her colorway Zoinks, like a reference to Scooby-Doo. And this is on her Hip Hop Monkey, which is her 100% superwash merino fingering weight. So this is going to be a hat and either mittens or possibly a hitchhiker.
It's when you have really, really nice yarn that you like, and you're not sure what to make.
I mean,
make a hitchhiker.
I mean, feel how soft and squid like that. That would be. Could you imagine that knit up as a hitchhiker? That would be so
Or
squishy. What?
The infamous strand what?
Strand what? I don't know if I'm brave enough to tackle that yet.
Strandwander is not as difficult as it looks.
Maybe. I mean, this would definitely work well for that pattern as well. It's definitely a all over the place hand painted yarn, so it would definitely work well.
And it is the pattern for hand painted yarns.
And then, of course, since she has free shipping if you spend $50 or more. So those two skeins didn't bring me to $50. So of course, I had to grab myself something else, and I'm looking, and I just couldn't decide. And then I saw this, and this is Troublemaker. It's on her Jitterbug Monkey base, which is 100% superwashed blue-faced Leicester, which is lovely. So, like, you can see all the beautiful colors. Listen, it is in the camera. Don't you tell me how to live my life, Vincent. But yeah, like, it's just gorgeous. And the thing that really convinced me to get this one was that it's a 150 gram skein.
It's a big skein.
So there's a
whole lot of yardage there.
So I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this yet. But we all need a little yarn in our stash that we don't know what we're going to do with. I'm sure Vince doesn't have anything like that.
But, a stash is important. Because I am currently unemployed still.
Yes.
Thank God I have a stash, or else I'd have to, knit with acrylic. Red Heart. The humanity of it all.
But, yeah, so that one was Troublemaker.
That's also the reason why I'm not shopping like he is. Because I would be. I would be.
Yeah.
Put that in the shown box.
Alright, so, whatever. Then, this last time, I got another discount email.
She's got your number.
And then, conversation with her happened, and a few other things happened, and of course I wind up back on her website again. Well, she put out a bunch of new colorways. A bunch of them. And they're all on fingering weight yarn, which I'm growing to love more and more all the time. And...
well, it's the yarn you buy when you're not buying yarn.
Well, exactly.
It's just one little 100 grain skein.
Right.
It's the methadone of yarn buying. You're not buying a sweater's worth.
Right.
You're just buying 100 grams.
Yes.
Just a little skein of hand-dyed sock yarn to take the edge off.
So she put out a bunch of new colorways, and they're all they're all just absolutely gorgeous, bright, like super vibrant colors. There's one called Shark Attack that it's terribly ugly and none of you should go buy it.
It's hideous.
It's hideous.
Hideous.
Do not go buy it. Don't buy any of it. I've actually told her to just take it off the website because it's terrible, and just send it all to me so I can destroy it. No, but really, that colorway is my absolute favorite. But I plan to buy, probably most of them. And I started because this one fell under her green sale, because it has a lot of green in it. That is going on was going on this month because it's the last day of this month. But this is one of her new colorways, and it is called Punk Rock Parakeet. It is on her Tap Monkey base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And guys, it is gorgeous. I mean, I bought two. Because, I mean, you gotta buy two. Because you never know what you're gonna do with them. But, like, my favorite part on this, let's see, is that, like, hot pink with the speckles in it. Like, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Let's get that in there. Ooh. It's falling apart. There it is. There's my speckly part. That is just stunning. She does amazing work, and honestly, compared to a lot of other like sock yarns that are super washed with nylon, like this one's almost like softer than a lot of the ones that I've dealt with. Like it doesn't feel like a sock yarn. Like I would say, like, as compared to stuff like, I don't know, like Patton's Croix or something like that.
Patton's Croix is pretty.
It's
pretty.
It's a good yarn.
It is a workhorse yarn.
Yes.
And that is really something that will make a long-lasting pair of socks.
Oh, absolutely. Like I don't mean to knock that yarn by any means.
Well, what I tell people, especially with sock yarn, they're like, "Oh, but this is so soft, and that's so rough." And it's like, well, if you're making socks, that's going on the thickest, toughest skin on your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I get these fingering sock weight yarns that are so soft and squishy, I usually don't make socks out of them.
Yeah.
I'll make.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably won't make socks out of this either.
Though the best part of socks like that is when you're in the locker room at the gym and you get these looks.
All right. So again, I ran into that problem of, I'm not at $50 yet. So I start perusing the mini skeins. Because, I didn't buy enough mini skeins the first time. And
crack.
Going through the colors or whatever, this one pops up and I'm like, it says she only has one left. Why not?
I'll take it off her
hands. And it was on sale because it's kind of green. So this one is called Just Teal. It's a beautiful, just tonal teal color, again on the Cha-Cha Monkey DK base. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do with that yet, but oh well. And then, as I scroll through the colors, I really loved the Rush, the orange. So I clicked on that, and it says only 3 left, and I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I gotta buy all 3 of them then. So I did. I bought 3 more. So I have, that would be 120 grams of this now. So I have enough to make something. I'm actually thinking of doing this with that Moody, that denim blue, and doing something striped, like maybe a hat or something.
Because there's a good number of hat patterns
Oh yeah, there's a lot of DK hat patterns too. And then what I didn't show you earlier, where I'm keeping my sweater right now, is I also had to buy the Die Monkey Yarn logo canvas bag. It is a very big, very deep canvas bag. It's got this nice pocket on the back here, and then has this little pocket inside that has her logo on it and her website as well. And like I said, it's very deep. I mean, I have the entire yoke of my sweater in there and it barely looks like there's anything in it. So you could definitely keep a sweater, a baby blanket. Like, this is an excellent bag. Very well constructed. I'm pretty sure she doesn't make them herself. Pretty sure there's something she ordered from somewhere, but I definitely, recommend it. It's only $25, I think. And I think, don't quote me on this, but it might be on sale right now too, because she was having a Cyber Monday sale and I didn't buy anything. Ooh. But that's just because on Black Friday I might have gone a little crazy on knit picks. But I still only spent $56 on knit picks. And I bought an entire another sweater's worth of yarn.
And you still have rent money. That was
I do.
my only concern.
I do. My rent is paid.
That's it. And you're using money that you used to spend on cigarettes
Exactly.
to buy yarn.
This is all money that used to go up in smoke, literally.
Quite literally. So,
all right, that's it.
Are you
that's
done?
all I got.
Okay. Well, back in our very first episode, I was all excited and Twitter-pated because I had won the episode giveaway from the Grocery Girls. And I looked up what it was and I was like, oh my God, that's really nice stuff. And I was all excited and, I had messaged Tracy and we were, all Twitter-pated and messaging each other back. And I knew, shipping from Canada, it takes a while. I was being patient. And like 3 weeks later, I get a Ravelry message from her. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I still haven't sent your package out. And I'm like, oh, she's so like me. I laughed. I said, well, that's exactly the kind of thing that I would do. She's like, I'm sending it out tomorrow. You'll get it right away. And it did come in. It was like the day after we filmed the last episode. Of course, it showed up. I, got the package. I took a picture and texted it to him. I'm like, look what I got! So, I got this collection of Color Riot mini skeins. The colors are just gorgeous. Crinkle. Yes, I love the crinkle of cellophane. I go, anytime anyone else does it, and here I am doing it. It's Troublemaker and Elixir. It is merino sock, 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this. I'll figure something out. I'm new to the mini skein thing.
What are they, each 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're each 20 grams. So.
You have 200 grams of. Wow.
So I'll figure something out. because it is like a whole.
It's like it's a gradient set.
Yeah. So that was it was from the September 4th giveaway. Well, along with that, I got some other goodies. I got the cute little Grocery Girls postcard.
Oh look, we ran out of time.
With a little message from the two of them. And a set of Grocery Girls stickers. And they're Grocery Girls buttons. And because I'm nice, nobody's going to believe it, but...
Well, you're going to do it on camera. So
yes,
that,
so that they believe it. I'm giving you a set because I knew he would whine about it if I didn't. And I thought, well, do I really need to? Then...
Hold on.
This was
just to take away from that. I do have a button for him as well from Diamond.
Aren't you nice? That's why we hate each other less than everyone else. Because really, what would we do with two of them? It's like...
Well, I have 3 buttons now because she apparently sends you one with every order.
So you've probably seen these on on Grocery Girls. The Thread and Maple, the Leather Notions Portfolio. It looked nice on the podcast. When I got the package, I opened it up and I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. It is beautifully made. It has pockets and there's a cable needle and a little thingy here with a pair of nice, cute little... You do this so much better. Little scissors. There's a little thingy here that holds a couple of darning needles.
It's the magnetic thing too, isn't it?
No, that's not magnetic.
Oh, that one's not magnetic.
That's not magnetic. And there's a little wooden tape measure. Because I lose these by the thousands of them. And it's just beautifully made and gorgeous, and I'm like, this is the nicest thing I've ever...
Snap that down.
Yeah. Both of them. I mean, there's all sorts of little pockets and holders, and if I ever wind up losing this, I will be a miserably horrible person for the rest of my life. Because this is way too nice for anything that I would buy for myself. This little felt thing.
Next year he's going to bring it to the retreat and somebody's going to hold it for ransom.
And I'll have one of those little US GPS chips in there, yes. And I'll say, all right, I know whose room this is in. But it's just all sorts of festive, and I'm like, this is way nice. This is nicer than anything. I wouldn't spend this much money because I don't think I'm worth that much. But if you like really nice notions holders and you are willing to spend money on it, I mean, it's amazingly great quality. I'm just worried that I will lose this or misplace this someplace. Will cry when it happens, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't lose it, I mean, that's something that'll last forever.
This is like amazingly made. It's just basically something that I'm gonna show off and lord over people.
So I mean, I'll get it someday when he kicks the bucket.
Evil lives forever.
That's why I'm going to live forever. You're nice, remember? You just gave me that stuff, so they think you're nice now.
It's an act. People who know the real me.
This is very true.
So that is it for my acquisitions. As you can tell, I was very Twitter-pated when that showed up. I'm at the kitchen table in Mom's house opening this up, and she's like, what is this? And it took a while to explain to her where it was, what it was, and why I got it. And she's like, well, did you buy raffle tickets? I'm like, no, it was giveaway. You just made a comment and random number drawing. And
Santa.
I was the random one. Luck of the draw. So, that's that.
It's crazy.
All right, and we're just over an hour and 9
look at
minutes.
that.
Yeah, well, we tended to
we did ramble a little bit this time.
A little bit.
You know what I just noticed? I think this is the first episode that we didn't have any cat fights.
Yeah, they were kind of mellow.
They're both just sleeping in
Yeah,
opposite parts of the house.
What you put in their food?
Only a sprinkle of Benadryl.
You know, Simba's on the ottoman, just snoozing away, and I don't know where the other one.
The other one is the troublemaker. He's probably like ripped an entire garbage bag apart in the kitchen while we've been doing this.
It's because you yelled at him for eating Simba's food.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So he had to go find something else to eat.
Some other trouble to make.
Well, anyways.
So that is it for episode number 5.
Oh, I did buy. I wonder if they're in here.
What?
I'm like, I feel like I bought something else. Yep. Because, like I said, I'm gonna do a hat and something else in the hat that I'm gonna make called for needles that I didn't have, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 2 sets, 2 different sizes. It's a, what do we got? We have a US 2 and a US 4 16-inch circulars. They are Chowgu. I love these needles. Love, love, love them. I would have the interchangeable set, but, you know, I keep spending all my money on yarn, so it's kind of hard to, you know, buy a Chowgu interchangeable set when... Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that was the other thing I bought. I got them on Amazon. There's something like, I want to say it was only $9 each. Not anything too bad. But that's it. That's all I had. I'm done, officially.
Yay. Okay, well, again, do all those YouTube things.
Yes, like,
share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up.
hit the notification bell so you get notified when we post.
Leave comments. You know, we love to hear what you think, what you like, what you think is extremely funny. Because we'll do more of that. We'll do more of it anyways, even if you don't think it's funny, because we think it's funny.
But you can also follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram at Boozie Bears Knit, and on Twitter also at Boozie Bears Knit.
And of course, our Ravelry group. Follow us there. That's where our show notes will go.
And all of those are going to be linked down below the video for you to easily get to. Like I said, we're very active on our social media, so you know we love talking to you guys, getting your comments. You get to see a lot of this stuff as we're making it, or you know, get to see our woes of oh I screwed this up and now I have to restart it.
I swear I'm a really good knitter.
Right, we look great on the episode because we're like, ooh, look at this that I made. But then if you look at our Instagram, you're like, oh, because you had to restart it 4 times.
It's like, I wish I could say I've only done this once before.
But yeah, do all that stuff, and we will see you again probably a little less than 2 weeks, because we'll stick to our original schedule.
Okay.
So we'll skip this Wednesday and we'll film next Wednesday. So you'll get a extra little dose of Boozie Bears.
Some extra booziness.
Exactly. I'm sure by then I'll at least be a little bit further on my sweater, and I'll probably have finished that hitchhiker. And you'll have a few things finished by then, so we should be good to film in a week and a half.
A couple of things are Christmas gifts, and I should probably make a hat for my younger brother, because he does wear hand knit hats, so he gets those.
Yeah, I have to make 2 hats, one for my sister and one for her husband, and then actually one for my brother's husband as well. So I got a few things to work on still.
All right. Well,
all right.
I think that is it.
Enough of us rambling. We've gone another 15
Another
minutes.
5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
so
five-ish, 5 minutes.
is 109.
Anyways, well, we'll see you
in 2
We'll
weeks.
see you in 2 weeks. Well, ish. Bye.